Hello, I'm Stephen Holloway. We're going to talk about loading your Nclex questions into the Dropbox for Nursing 204. To do this, you're going to need your Silvestri or your Saunders Nclex 5th edition and your disk. You'll need to make sure you have gone ahead and loaded the disk program onto your computer. You'll also need to have a PDF printer as part of your computer. Now, to check to see if you have a PDF printer, just go to the Start button, Control Panel, Devices and Printers, and it should show you what you have hooked up to your computer. You can see here I have two regular printers, and I have something called Qt PDF Writer. You'll need to look to see if anything that says PDF Writer. Most of the Microsoft are going to have this Microsoft XPS document writer. That does not work well with Blackboard. Many times it will stop our computers and won't let us grade the papers for you. So we ask you not to send it in a Microsoft XPS document writer. So if you check and you do not have a PDF writer, you'll need to download one from the internet. There are a couple that I recommend. I like this Qt PDF Writer, which is one several of the students last semester showed me and is very well. There's another one called PDF Lite. So what you'll need to do is just go to the internet, search for any of those, and then download that to your computer. When you find a PDF Writer to download, watch closely as you're doing the downloads, because many times they'll try to put in several add-ons like a toolbar, those type things, and unless you need another toolbar, just say no to those and just download what you need at that point in time. So once you've done that, then you check again to make sure that PDF Writer is there. So once you've got all that set up, then you'll just go to your Nclex exam review. It'll give you the in-license agreement. Go ahead and agree with that. And you can't update the software. It'll ask you to update or continue. Mine has been updated recently, so I'm just going to hit continue right at this point in time. Now here's where it's going to give you several different options to do. As you're getting ready to do your Nclex questions for the course, you'll want to go to the exam. The exam mode will generate usually tests of 100 questions. You need to do those 100 questions and submit those. Now, some of the areas may only have 50 to 75, but you must submit 200 questions each week. There are a couple of sections that you will only submit 100 questions for one portion, 100 questions for another, but there will always be 200 questions for that week. Make sure you submit at least 200 questions for the ones that say 200 or 100 for the ones that say 100. If you submit less, you will not get credit for that, so make sure you do that. Now, as you go through, you can do more than what you need to do for us, what we're asking you to do. You can do assessment, you can do study, you can do quizzes, you can do exams, you can do audio reviews. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to hit quiz simply for the brevity of this presentation. So we're going to go ahead and hit quiz, and it'll give you several areas. Same thing when you hit exam. Typically what you'll want to do is hit the content area, and for that content area it gives you a breakdown of different categories. Now the first ones typically do are fundamentals, and you can go down and see there are several different types of fundamentals. We're just going to do basically a fluid and electrolytes fundamentals just for the heck of it. Okay, and it says 10 questions, begin section. We're going to hit begin section, and you will need to score 85. Again, for the brevity, I'm not going to pay attention to the questions. I'm just going to answer the questions, and then we'll go on from there. I have no idea whether I'm answering correctly. I'm not reading the questions. I'm just answering so that we can get through this portion. Okay, so once you finish the exam, you can actually do several things. You can actually suspend it and wait for it. Typically what you want to go ahead and do is hit end and tally, and it'll give you your exam. You can see today we completed the exam here. It says quiz completed. Then what you want to do is click on that exam, and it tells you what you scored. We scored 50% by guessing. So odds are you're not going to want to submit that to me. You would want to go ahead and redo that exam until you get up to 85%. But for showing, what we're going to do is we're going to submit this one now just to show you how to do it. So we're going to go ahead and click this one, required name to print. This is where I want you to put your full name. So that we easily can see what we have. Now, one thing I should have done before this, and I apologize for not telling you that, but you'll need to go ahead and under your documents, under My Documents, you'll want to create you a file for the Nclex questions. That way you can drop this right into that file. Let's go ahead and do that right now. We'll minimize that. Go to your documents. And then I think I have a file already for Nclex questions. So I have a file there. I would, again, just go ahead and set you up a folder. If you don't know how to do that, new folder, and then it puts it in there, and then just label it Nclex questions. You're ready to go. So we'll come back up with this. We're going to print the results, and here's where we go. Our print will come up. And we're going to do it as a cute PDF writer. We're going to click there, and we're going to click print. Okay. Now that should have printed into our documents. And here we go, My Documents. You go to where you want to go. We come down to Nclex question. We name this one Fundamentals F&E. So we've got that one there. So now we go ahead and click open, and it should be saved there. So what we can do now is we can go back home. Let's do another quiz real quick, so that you can see how to download 2, because you will be downloading 2. We'll go to content area. We'll do fundamentals. Oh, let's do fundamentals nutrition, just for the heck of it. Begin session. So we're just going to go through again. Expect you to take a little more time, read the questions. And then to end tally. Alright, this is the one we just took. Oh, we did really well. We did 30% on that one. But again, this is what you want to do. Again, full name. Okay. Print results. Oh, goody. And guys, that's going to happen to you every once in a while. This thing really has some issues with it. So when that does that, you close the program. The good thing is you've already taken the quiz, so we'll show you what happens. So I'm going to go ahead and close the program. We'll just go back into it. Go ahead and continue. We're going to go to history now. We have taken that one already. We'll go to history. Here's the one we just took. It is there. See, we didn't do well on it. Okay. And we're right back where we were. Okay. So don't get disheartened if it closes down on you. It's a glitch in this system. It happens quite frequently, unfortunately. Print. Comes back up. We're still in Nclex Questions. We're going to change it to Fundamentals _ Nutrition. And I won't count off on you on spelling on these. Okay. Hit save. And we now have completed 2 of the fundamentals. So we're going to go ahead and take this one out. We're going to go ahead then and go to our Blackboard. We're going to log into Blackboard. You're going to go over to your Nclex Questions. Okay. Fundamentals is open. Click on Fundamentals. Okay. Assigned submission. You can see here this is Fundamentals. You're to complete 200 questions on Fundamentals of Nursing. 2 100-question exams, submit in a PDF format. You must score 85% on each exam to receive credit. The due date is Sunday, January the 19th, so you've got a little bit of time. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and browse my computer. I know that I have that in Nclex Questions. So I go to My Documents, Nclex Questions, and we'll go ahead and do the F&E. Okay, we have that one. Okay, then we'll browse my computer again. So we've loaded F&E. We'll load Nutrition. We have it there, and so we now see what we've loaded. If you need to add a comment to me for something, you can do that there for the instructor. If you need to load one, you got to go back and do another one. You can save it as a draft. But once you're finished loading both exams, go ahead and click Submit. Okay. And it's going to give you a review. So you can see, here's your name, the date it was completed, shows me the score, and this is what we'll be looking at. We'll be looking at your total score, then we'll be looking at what cognitive level it was, the client need, integrated processes. So we look at all of that as you do that 100-question quiz. So you can look at this one. And double check and make sure that you've loaded the correct ones. The last thing you want to do is load the wrong one. We will be opening it up and give you 2 attempts to load. So if you notice that, oh dear, instead of fundamentals, I loaded cardiovascular. You can go in there and use that second attempt and load your cardiovascular in. Now go ahead or your fundamentals. Now make sure both your 200-question quizzes are in that section. So if you loaded nutrition, but here you put something other than F&E, go back in that second attempt and do the nutrition and the F&E so that they're together. It makes it easier when we grade it. Well, I'm not going to wait for that to generate. So here you have Start New Submission if you needed to change something. If not, just hit OK. And then that is there for you. You can go back and you can see what you've done. You can go to your grade, My Grades. And I haven't graded yet, so you won't have anything there. But that way you know that you've completed those. The assignment is done at that point in time. Keep up. Remember that they have to be in. Part of your calendar will tell you the times they need to be in. If they are late, you do not get credit for the questions. If they're either test is less than 85%, you do not get credit for the questions. So you must make 85%. Again, I want your full name at the top, and then you can label that file something that kind of fundamentals, cardiovascular 1, cardiovascular 2, respiratory 1, respiratory 2 for those 100 quiz questions. If you have questions, you're free to contact any of the instructors of 204, and we will review this with you. Good luck. Again, if you have problems, you can email the instructors for 204. We will be glad to help you with any of those issues. Thank you.